Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 67 of the 72 review. We are hurtling towards the end of the season where it gets very interesting in every single division. But before we get started on this episode, I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter. I am expecting an excellent show today. We will see how... There we go. There are a few puns. I've got a few. We've got some EFL experts on the panel today. A couple of good eggs. I will go around the screen. I've got a few more. We'll stick a few in as the show goes on.
If they get bad, I do have.
I think there are some like that. Well, no, let's start a cracking show. We'll start with Lee from around the grounds. Let everybody know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
I don't know how to follow that up, Dan. How can I?
You can't, mate, you can't.
You can't. Yeah, hello, I'm Lee, around the grounds, ground hopper. I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan when I'm not at Hillsborough, which is not frequently enough. I'm ground hopping for my channel, which is why I set it up to cover as many grounds as possible.
And it is fantastic. Next to Lee tonight is Jake, PunkChef41. Let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I am PunkChef41. I am a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Lee probably gets better value with going around the ground than coming to Hillsborough and probably save more money. But I do everything Sheffield Wednesday. I've been doing it for a while. I also co-host the Talking Wednesday podcast, and just praying that we got enough to stay up because I keep looking at games and it's getting closer and closer, like it's going to be on a knife edge, and I do not want another Derby County situation last game of the season.
You do not, indeed. And last but not least, he's got an head like an egg. It's Ian. Sorry, mate, I couldn't resist. Let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate. And that's the last one.
I'm Ian. I'm 62-year-old Miller season ticket holder. Unfortunately, we've still got 4 home games to go. It's getting really bad. And when the Millers are away and getting thumped like they normally do, I'm around the country vlogging EFL games for the Over the Bar YouTube channel, which I really enjoy.
And it's good stuff. All links to these guys' channels is in the description below, as always. And if you are new to this, we just go through all 3 EFL divisions and talk about the football. Bit of a chat, like a chat in a pub.
Before we start, can we just give a mention to the fan that hit 92? He's done on 92 grounds. I think you tweeted it, didn't you, Lee?
Yeah, they were.
Where was he? The Coventry fan.
He's a Coventry fan, but he were. I want to say Peterborough. Yeah.
But he's done all 92, which is some feat that.
Yeah, it's some achievement, isn't it?
I mean,
Lovely
I've done
stuff,
70 myself, but there's some that are virtually geographically impossible for me to do. But yeah, I've done 70, so I've not done too bad.
I'm not sure what I'm up to. I'll have to have a look. Right, let's have a quick look through the comments. The chat is pretty busy tonight. We've got Chal, evening, ready for another week of EFL reviewing. Rose Tardai, mad respect for Jake, Lee, and Ian as well. I sit in the West Stand. There we go. Newcastle fan in. We've got Punky Horrors. That's your missus.
That's my missus. Yep.
Good evening.
Evening, darling.
We've got John. Greetings, gents. Go easy on the mushy piece today. And then we've got Finley in the chat as well. Good evening.
Finley.
Hello, Finley. Where were you last week?
Burton, full house tonight, lads. Happy Easter to everybody. And Worko is in as well. Should be in a meeting. But clearly that meeting is not going too well. Okay, let's get started on League Two. Jonathan may be joining us. I'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully he does, because MK Dons had a bit of a week, didn't they?
Yeah.
We will start with. Give me a second. We're there. Doncaster against Forest Green. So one of the games that we missed because it was the international break last week, and we went to see Pendulum on Sunday in Leeds, who were fantastic.
Was it good?
Yeah, very, very good. The second artist wasn't too sure on them. Can't even remember his name now.
That good.
Yeah, it was a bit heavy metal, a lot of screaming. So yeah, not really my scene. I can take a bit of it, but yeah, it was absolutely.
So you can't Ainsley it then.
No, certainly not. But onto the football. Donny 2, Forest Green Rovers 0. And this one for me, I was so disappointed by Forest Green, a team that are fighting for their lives at the bottom of League Two, and 3 shots at goal, none on target. We just looked, well, we didn't look troubled at all for the full 90 minutes. I don't know if Donny are looking that good at the minute. We're, I think, 2 losses in 12 with a form team in the league. So I think that probably Forest Green have come to us at the wrong time of the season to be getting points and surviving. But yeah, we just didn't really look troubled. They just didn't look like they wanted to get at us at all. There was no sort of desire to look like they wanted to win a game of football. And they were difficult to break down. We managed to, just after the hour mark, with Luke Molyneux, a decent finish on his left foot. And then a lovely on goal by Richard Keogh, which I do like to see.
I completely forgot he was at Forest Green.
I did until he was on pitch. I'm like, that looks like Richard Keogh. And then looked at team shot. I was like, oh, it is.
Yeah.
Some more clubs than Rory McIlroy, aren't he?
Yeah.
Keogh.
Well, no, a decent game for Donny. We took hospitality in, which was lovely for my dad's birthday. Banging food. So if you are a Rovers fan and you've not tried it yet, I recommend it before the end of the season. Get the hospitality in. I think Lee can second that as well.
You're not wrong about how many clubs he's had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 club.
16 clubs. Wow.
That's not bad going, is it?
And he's 37.
Some
Oh,
career.
he's a young one. Look at Woody.
Yeah.
Woody's 38.
He's only had 2 clubs, though, hasn't he?
Woody's no, he's had a few.
3.
He's had
He'd have 3, I
few.
think.
Had he? But yeah, I think at the start of the season, I thought Woody had come into Rovers as a bit of a spy or something to send us down, because you wax lyrical about him, and he's an absolute hero to you.
Yeah.
But he just didn't show anything at the start of the season. I don't know if he was carrying an injury or something, but since he's come back from when he was out injured, he's been absolutely solid. Danny agrees.
He's had 8 clubs.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wood's been absolutely solid at the back, as Anderson. But obviously got a red card on Friday. But yeah, this was 3 wins on the bounce, which we've not done in a long time. So it's looking up for Donny. I'm happy. We'll jump on to Friday. Any games that you guys want to touch on from League Two before
Can we go back to the one that me and Lee were at Morecambe Gillingham?
Yeah, you went to Morecambe Gillingham, didn't you? There you go.
Take
it away.
I forgot about that. It's been that long.
We met Matt from Gills in the Blood before the game, and Lee sat with him in the away end, and it was a cracking game, really. It was an end-to-end game. Gillingham edged it for me. I think they've just about deserved to win, but there's some cracking finishes, cracking goals, and it was really well worth watching. I mean, League Two's delivered this season big time with games, goals, incident. I really enjoyed it, and the chicken ham and leek pie didn't disappoint as usual. And what did Lee think about the day out?
Thought it was brilliant. Coming into this though, I didn't expect to see 5 goals from this game. Let me tell you, because Gillingham fans will admit they're not. That obviously, look at the result again. They don't score quite freely. So yeah, I didn't expect a high-scoring game. So that accompanied with the pie made for a belting day, and I even had me picture like you, Ian, with the Morecambe and Wise Eric statue. So what a
what's going on with Morecambe? Because I've got a mate who's a Morecambe fan. It looks like there's a lot of fans that are still trying to figure out what's going on with their ownership again. Still, is it still up in the air?
Yes. So obviously, I think they've got embargo again this week. Speaking to a couple, his owner's a bit. Obviously, it's not not a new thing in the AFL. There's a lot of bad owners in there, so yeah, they're
It's like that fit and proper person test was not that fit for purpose.
now.
It's looking that way, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're a viable club. I mean, they've got quite a good catchment area because there's not that much, only Fleetwood and possibly Blackpool around them. There'd be quite, how can I put it, quite attractive proposition to take over, really, because the stadium's quite nice, apart from that one side where there's just that open terracing, but it's quite a nice setup there.
Yeah.
So I hope they do get their ownership sorted out.
Yeah, that's it. I did like the bit of your video, Ian, where you commandeered somebody who just stood near the statue and you turned into a director. You would come this way. It would...
I was very polite, though. I was very polite. I said, can you do this?
He's advertising for his new role with the ITV crew next year.
It was that hand signal that got me. I was brilliant. Gold.
Danny says that Tyson
I don't
will
think
end up taking
so.
over. Who knows?
I don't think so. Because
it would be nice to think that he would.
I can't see it because he'd be able to get them a brand again. Yeah. But that's the thing. People get clubs of a brand and then they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. I mean, look at Birmingham when they tried to appoint Wayne Rooney for the brand. That didn't go very well, did it? Yeah.
No, are they on their 6th manager this season?
Something daft like that, yeah.
Ridiculous. On to Friday's fixtures, though. I think we'll start with Wrexham Mansfield. Big game at the top of League Two.
I've got something to say about this. Yeah, go on.
Go on, then.
Go on.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Don't
leave us on a cliffhanger.
Well, no. Well, the thing is, I watched the highlights and Mansfield got royally screwed by the referee, in my opinion. Some of the decisions, I don't know if it'd been influenced by Hollywood FC, but no, they had a perfectly good goal chalked up, and I think the penalty incident was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think the thing is with this is that as much as saying Hollywood FC, hasn't the officiating all season been bad?
Yeah,
though? Of course, all 72.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. But I still think across the entire 92, if you like, I think some. Yeah, probably not, John. Yeah, you're probably right. But I think across the entire 92, I think that some referees are influenced by size of club, reputation of club, and I think that's just human nature. I mean, if you can remember down to the Alex Ferguson Manchester United days, I mean, it was play until United scored, weren't it?
It was sometimes, yeah.
But
I do agree with you on the penalty. I think it was outside the box.
It was outside the box, and I'm not sure whether it were a foul or not.
Yeah, but for me, the goal that was chalked off, I do think the keeper's got it in his hands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We all have different opinions, don't we?
Yeah, and that's why we're football.
Said that, I mean, I'm trying to side a little bit with Mansfield here because I sort of like prefer them to Wrexham, but there you go.
Rose-coloured glasses are on.
Yeah, probably.
But
I don't think Wrexham will make it.
Yeah.
I think Wrexham will make it. And I think that'll be good for League One next season.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
John said that they played Mansfield 3 times this year, and Mansfield have only scored 1. So a little bit of a bogey team for him this year. Because for me, Mansfield are probably the best team that I've seen this season. So yeah, decent result for Wrexham, and it's really it's closed that picture up at the top of the table.
It has,
and we've got them Tuesday night. Paul Mullin is 1 goal away from 100, so lump your money on that 100 is going to come at the Eco Power.
Oh, don't worry, Woody will have him in his pocket.
I hope so. Lee, are you coming to that game or not?
Unfortunately for you, Dan, I am, mate.
Oh, no.
Oh no! That's a Paul Mullen hat trick coming in then
Yeah, I've just put it on now.
with a Stephen Fletcher assist.
Yeah, that fantastic run that Donny have been on, which
Yeah,
we'll
because
go on to here because two
I'm-
informed
I'm
teams
fast-
met.
I'm fascinated to see Donny, to be fair, Dan, because obviously I'm trying to think what the last game I covered was. It Stockport?
I think it
The
was
last
Stockport where
game,
we got
the last game you
5-1.
covered, they weren't on a run. Day away.
Mm.
Yeah, but obviously things have changed, so I am fascinated to see what's changed.
You've not been there.
Yeah, probably. I'm not
That's
going
it
to
in a
announce
nutshell, that.
that.
No, to be fair, I think last time you came was Stockport at home.
Yeah.
And the game after that was Sutton away, and we went 1-0 down. And at that point, I was thinking, we're staring down barrel here. We could be
Yeah, I
on
remember
our way to non-league, especially with the run over Christmas and New Year. The feeling around the club, it was really, really negative. And then the Sutton keeper absolutely clattered Joe Ironside on 96th minute, and we put the penalty away. And since then, we've not looked back. We've had
What's a penalty?
one defeat since then. We're now mathematically safe after this result and the other results.
You're
Down at
pushing
the bottom of the
playoffs.
table.
That,
You're pushing. You could make a little playoff push. You get your games in hand.
Yeah, this is it. We're 8 points away from the playoffs. We've got 2 games in hand. We play Gillingham on the final day of the season, who currently occupy that last playoff place. So I think we've got too much to do. I really do.
that me and Matt, we joked about that fixture, just saying, because obviously I've been to Gillingham before, but obviously not since I met Matt. And we sort of like joked, so you come into that last game. But why Donny keep winning and winning? I tell you what, set up. I could be heading down to Kent on that last day.
Yeah, there could be something riding on that.
What's I'll be asking this Tuesday. What do you think's changed? Is it the recruitment? Obviously, the new guys, have they made the difference, or do you just think it's a unit finally clicking?
I think a little bit of both. Obviously, start of the season, we've had 13 to 16 players injured at any one time for like the full first half of the season. We've not really been able to put a full strength squad out. Adel Aiken's a different gravy. He's so good.
Different class.
Yeah, even Birmu, just he gets rewarded for his hard work. I mean, his goal on 98th minute, he's already had one where he's put it wide, should have put it away, but then he just keeps on going and just pressing the keeper, making him make mistakes.
I mean, that last goal, Lee, that last goal, Dan, he chased the keeper down when he 9 out of 10 strikers had just ambled about, but he chased the keeper down.
Yeah,
and made
this is
him
it. I mean, 98th minute, 1-0 up, down to 10 men. You'd think, right, them 10 men are going to be behind ball, but then you've got Birmu chasing a keeper down, and then he just makes it comfortable, wins the game. So I just think there's a belief now. And
I think there's a belief here, but I think Grant gone in there and completely hit them all with a little bit of reality check and said, look, this is what's happening, this is how it's going. And then you look at what's going off the pitch, you're making contract offers to people are signing. He's already gone, this is what I want to build. And it looks like you finally got a board that's listening. That's the crucial one. You finally got a board that's listening to what the manager wants to do and back him. And the thing is, Grant McCann, if anything, he's one of the most honest managers you will get in a press conference. He will tell you it was absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
Without saying it was absolutely dog shit, but it'll give you an honest reaction to an honest game.
Yeah, you can normally see it on his face before he even said anything.
If you beat Wrexham Tuesday, it's like there's no reason. Yeah, it's. I mean, what that'll do to the squad as well to beat Wrexham, we're obviously a flying high as well. The belief in the squad, it'd be massive for you. And
I will say, the last game of the season, if Lee's at Kent on that last game of the season, the Tanay announcement need to be
Could Lee from around the ground please turn up to the local stewards? Your card being towed away. Oh, what's that? It's Grant McCann in the tow truck.
We'll see if the curse has gone on Tuesday night. But yeah, if the run ends, Donny fans watching, you know why.
If I promise this, then Dan, if the curse ends, I'll never step foot in Eco Power again.
That's going to be difficult when you've got to play a Sardine game there.
That's
How are you going to do that?
Right,
One
gents,
more
any more League
postscript
Two?
one more postscript to the Crawley Donny game. I mean, Tom Anderson's challenge were bordering on assault, weren't it?
It was, yeah, definite red. I don't understand why the referees played on.
No.
That's kind of put a bit of ambiguity in the whole decision, because he's played on and now we're expecting a yellow card at that point, and then he's come and give him a straight red. So I do think it's a red. It was reckless. Well, I think he just got there about now. It was so late. So yeah, we're going to miss him on Tuesday. Hopefully, Oluwu next to Wood, who's performing superbly at the minute,
He'll be able to sort him
keep
out.
them quiet. Any more League Two games that you want to touch on before we look at the table?
Bradford picking up a good win.
Bradford, there, go for it, Jake.
They're just starting to turn a little bit of a corner. They're starting to maybe look like a team that could actually potentially finish a season which has been up and down for them, because it has. Because 8th season, we think Bradford are going to be up there and around it, and 8th season, they basically had turned into League Two Pompey.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. Them and Mansfield have been League Two Pompey for a while, and both clubs should be out of the league. But you can go that quickly like that. That's really good to show how you can just turn it around and just get going. Thought they were good goals, and I think 21 shots to 7 on target. You want that to be into double figures on target, but you get 21 shots, you're leaking a goal one of them.
You like to think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Since they lost to Wickham, they seem to really hit a wall, and obviously ownership issues again. We echo this every time, and I think he put a statement out Friday afternoon about obviously the disappointment of this season, that he wants to try and invest. So I'd be interested to see what happens going forward. Is he just like blowing smoke up the fans' arse because they were talking a bit of a protest on the match?
Well, it's no surprise that season ticket went on sale on the 30th of March.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the thing.
Do you think they'll persevere with Alexander, or will the trigger finger get
until they sort out what goes? It's a bit like Donny. Obviously, you know, Dan, what you've been dealing with. Until you sort that out, don't matter who you get in charge. It's just going to be a revolving door, because until you sort out the back room and have a plan, no one will change it.
No, that's it. I will introduce Jonathan. He's popped in. He's down at the bottom there. Good evening, Jonathan. Let people know who are watching, who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate. And welcome to the show.
Hi guys. Firstly, sorry for being a bit late. Slightly overran on my plans, but I've got here. So I'm an MK Dons fan for my sins. This season's been quite Jekyll and Hyde, as this week's will prove, and I've got a keen interest in EFL and like to think that I know what I'm talking about. But
you definitely do, mate.
To be on the show again.
You do indeed, mate. We'll brush over the 5-0 to Stockport, and we'll go straight to Fridays, if that's all right with you. So you wanted a response, obviously getting beaten 5-0 at Stockport. Bit of a dint in your automatic promotion hopes, but what a way to bounce back. Talk us through this one, mate.
Well, the first 20-25 minutes was actually Walsall did quite well. They defended quite well, hitting us on the counter attack, and then Mo Fowl had a one-on-one against our goalkeeper, and goalkeeper saved it. And then that just seemed to spark us into life. And we scored half an hour into the game. Joe Tomlinson with another assist, and young Emre Tezgal nipped in at the near post. Good 1-0. Second half started, and the returning Max Dean, after 2 months out with a hamstring injury, comes on, and within 35 minutes, just basically takes the game away from Walsall by himself.
Didn't he get 2 assists as well as the 2 goals?
Yeah. It was just it was like a man possessed. Honestly, Ian. He won the penalty within 45 seconds of being on the pitch, pretty much. Scored the penalty. He then assisted Alex Gilby for a goal. Could have assisted Gilby again for another goal. He then assisted Joe Tomlinson to score himself.
Jesus,
and then
man on fire.
And then he wrapped it up from a corner when the goalie dropped it at his feet 2 yards out. And the guy just plays. He plays on the edge. Someone said to me that he's not going to be with us for long, and that I completely agree. He's just got that fire in his belly, and he can carry a team single-handedly when they need it. And
that's what you call an impact substitution, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this is it. And he's 20 years old, and he scored 14 league goals already this season, which is phenomenal for someone who was behind the likes of Mo Isa, Ellis Harrison at the start of the season. And he's just come and he's just owned it completely, and absolutely fair play to him. I've got to mention Lewis Bate again. How the hell we got him on loan from Leeds, I'll never know, because he's championship standard. And I said this to a Sheffield Wednesday fan last week. If Barry Bannon ever needed replacing, Lewis
This
Bate,
season,
the guy to do it. Honestly, because he's just phenomenal. And the most important thing was to keep a clean sheet after that, what I call nightmare at Edgeley Park on Sky. It was so important to keep a clean sheet, and to keep a clean sheet straight after that was so important. And there's people
and to repair the goal difference as well.
Absolutely. And there's people that still think that we have an outside chance if a certain club do us a favour on Tuesday night against Wrexham, but we'll have to wait and see.
Lee, go into that game, so don't. Yeah.
Yeah, don't bank on it, mate. I'm off.
We'll try our best, Jonathan.
That's all I ask, mate. And to be in this position where we were when Williamson took over, and hello, what's going on here?
Yeah, he's still here, mate.
He's still
You're still there. You're still there.
My screen's gone blank.
We can still hear you.
We can still hear you and see you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, for us to be in this position is just phenomenal, and hopefully, we might be able to sneak it in on the last day, but I just don't want playoffs. That's the main thing.
Well, it's the best way of going up. To win at Wembley is the best way of going up. I mean, Lee and Jake will tell you that.
Yeah, but you know about Wembley. You do Wembley quite well as a Rotherham fan.
Yeah.
We do all right as well.
Yeah. You're actually a good record. I think the thing you've got is you're looking at everything that's going on in the league, and there's some very good players in League Two. And I think this is the thing that's I think you're gonna see a lot of Championship clubs raid it in the summer because there's no money. There's no money to get from the Prem teams now.
I can't believe that a player of the class of Ronan Curtis as we AFC Wimbledon. How the hell did they pick him up from there? Because he were brilliant at Pompey.
Mental, innit?
Yeah, there's some very, very good players at League Two level. Looking at the table before we move on to League One, Forest Green and Sutton. I'd say Forest Green looked doomed from what I saw on last weekend. Sutton, 3 wins on the bounce. They are putting up a fight, and that's what you'd expect to see teams doing down at the bottom of the table, at least putting up a fight. Colchester, a couple of games in hand. I think
John said 8 in April.
Yeah, 8 games in April. So
are
they going to run out of steam? We will see.
Fantastic win for them against Newport yesterday, though. And it were a late goal.
I can't say too much about Colchester. You're not
allowed to say anything because,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you something. I'd be really worried if I were a Grimsby fan because they're in no sort of form at all.
They
No,
they
that's
had
good
just
one,
gone since they lost the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 3 points that separate Sutton and Grimsby. Obviously, a couple of games in hand, which could be absolutely vital come the end of the season.
Yeah, a couple of points from them might see them more or less. But a lot can happen, can't it? A lot can.
It can indeed. I'm happy. We're mathematically safe. We cannot go down, and that was what I wanted.
Dan, I can't believe you're above Notts County now.
I know. We said at the start of the season, anybody who finishes above Notts County will go up, and I'm happy.
You can't relegate. You can't promote 15 clubs.
Yeah.
Up to the top of the table, Stockport currently atop of the
tight.
table. Yeah, it's very, very tight.
tight.
1 point separates the top three. Only 4 points separate first to fourth. And then Barrow, Crewe, and Gillingham make up the playoffs. But yeah, Gillingham on 60 points. And like we've said, Donny, outside chance, 8 points away, 2 games.
You know
in
what
hand.
the mental thing
Be
is there? For Wrexham to be on 70 points with 14 goal difference, that's incredible considering everyone else has got 24, 40, and 38 above them.
Yeah, it's these. They've done very well. So yeah, twists and turns coming for the remaining 6 games of the season. Moving on to League One. So we always point you in the direction of Ben Codd's vlogs. He does a League One deep dive, superb. We recommend you go and watch that. I'm not sure if he's got one going tonight or if he's waiting until the Easter fixtures are done. But yeah, we'll have a quick brush over League One because there's been a few changes on Friday. We'll start with Ian. Ian, is there any games that you want to touch on League One, mate?
Well, there's a couple. Barnsley, that was incredible. I didn't see where did that come from? I mean, and I think there's a candidate for own goal of the season in that one. Did you guys watch it?
It's a cracking own goal.
Back to the keeper. We aren't looking. Went sailing past him into the net, and I don't think it. I mean, yeah, it looks like Barnsley had the majority of the game, but Cambridge had the majority of the chances. They had another goal ruled out for offside, and they deservedly won. I mean, I don't know where it came from, but that's a massive result.
I won't lie, I'm shocked to see Gary Monk pull that off.
Yeah.
I'm even shocked that I'm saying the name Gary Monk after so many years.
Yeah.
Fantastic result for Cambridge. And the other one I wanted to point out were Posh. Are they going to bottle it again? Who saw this one coming either?
I mean, Mellish is that game of his life, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
I think that's his first career hat-trick, and it's that time of the season, isn't it, where you get some absolute mental results where, I mean, you got
to remember, look at whoever's out of contract or who playing for a new contract. They start to suddenly turn into prime Messi and Ronaldo. We used to have it at our club where players just suddenly turn on a dime. And the thing is, again, like I said about League Two, I think it can be very interesting in the summer with how teams do the recruitment. I think you're going to see some people go, that's a bit left field, but if you've watched the 72 out of the whole season, there's some very good players to pick up. Like when Jonathan Early was on about saying the players that they got from Leeds. There's a difference though. Leeds have a lot of quality Premier players who they don't need. They don't need these people. The fact that they've managed to load them out.
Leeds,
And I think that's something need to be thinking because I when we were just talking about clubs and stuff in League Two and the situation with owners, in my head I was thinking might be a good idea in the summer when it's a bit quiet, we do an owner special and go, we're going wrong.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I'm up for that. If we can fit it in. I think we were supposed to do that last summer and we didn't fit it in.
Yeah, but to be fair, everyone got busy, especially me because our owner's an idiot.
One game that I wanted to touch on, Lincoln. So into the playoffs, we've got Sue is in
Doing
the chat.
really well.
She says it was a scruffy win for us, but still a win.
You take
14 unbeaten. Lucas top for Golden Glove and moved into the playoffs. So yeah, fantastic result for Lincoln. And
Keep clean sheets. You do quite well in getting in playoff spots.
yeah, that's it. I mean, you look at the stats, and I think Sue's pretty much summed it up perfectly. 5 shots, 2 on target. One of those goes in, you win the game, and that's a sign of a decent team. Sometimes, isn't it, where you still manage to get points from.
I know you notice nobody has been talking about Lincoln. Nobody.
Yeah,
they just quietly gone about it, just doing the business, and no, because it's not like a smash and grab. It's not like they're blowing teams away at times. They're just playing good football and getting the result from it. And that's the thing. If you can be that team that just sneaks in by playing good football and people are not talking about you, I think it's the better aspect going into the playoff, because then you get
they've got the momentum then.
Yeah, you get seen as the underdog a little bit without being the underdog, because you've already got everything going forward.
Yeah, I think anybody who looks at Lincoln and thinks that they've got a chance against them, though. I mean, the last 3 games, I think, what did they score? About 16 goals, something like that.
Somewhat daft.
Yeah,
like that.
16 in the 3 beforehand. So they've been scoring for fun recently, and then they've shown a different side of the game.
The final day at Sinsel Bank, the one that I'm going to, they're at home to Pompey, who'll probably be champions by then.
Yeah,
that should.
You hope for them that you kind of hope for them that they're already on the beat, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, that's it. Lee, any games that you want to talk about in League One, mate, from Friday?
Just both wins for both wins for Pompey and Derby. They look like the two that's going to get the automatic, don't they?
Yeah.
Obviously,
it's Pompey's year. It's Pompey's year, without a doubt.
It's nice to be able to hear someone say that at last, because it's been coming for so long.
Yeah, it has been coming. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been stuck in this league far too long, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And then there was Derby as well.
Don't they play each other tomorrow or Tuesday? Pompey against Derby?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you might be right there, mate, yeah. But yeah, another great win for Derby. Obviously, your old guy, Warney, looks like he's going to get another promotion under his belt. He's finally
he knows how to get out of League One.
He does.
League One. He knows what he did. Yeah. The thing is, I think when he left Rotherham, they had a chance for Rotherham to have a little bit of like looking like they could go a bit step further, because before he left, they were playing really well and looking like it was clicking. And then it's weird that they changed and he'd gone to Derby. And that got to be the situation going, look, I've got a better budget here. I've got better training facilities. I've got everything.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, Pompey are a far bigger club than we are. And to be honest with you, it increased his profile. He obviously probably doubled his wage going there. And also, the Derby board says, this guy knows what he's doing in League One. Let's appoint him. And
also, he didn't have to move.
It's taken a couple of seasons, but he's going to get there. He's going to get there.
Yeah, that's it. I think they play each other Tuesday.
The one game for me that was a bit of a shock was Port Vale versus Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, Vale.
Where did that come from? Because Vale have been really struggling. But it looked like in this game, Darren got them playing. He got them playing. 19 shots, 11 on target. That's what you want to see.
It looks like a 2-0 pasting, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they've won 2 on the bounce now. So that's boosted their survival hopes. I think that's a good segue to the table. Quickly go through League One. Like we say, head over to Cod's Vlogs for a deeper dive into League One.
Well, I did feel sorry for Nappers, because his vlog at the latest game that I watched this morning, he looks flat. The guy looks.
I think he knows his fate for next season. Yeah. And the problem is with everything that's happened off the field this season, I think he's very worried that they could go down again the following season, because it doesn't look good. Now, on the other thing, you look at Fleetwood and then you look at Reading. Hopefully, there's a takeover in the off him. Who knows?
Yeah,
they're playing on the pitch, aren't they? Reading.
Yeah.
Reading are really playing well.
You know what would be really nice if Reading actually, it would be mental if it, but can you imagine if Reading actually went above Wickham just to go, sod you for trying to buy our training ground, you sods.
Yeah, to be good that, yeah. if they do get the ownership sorted out at Reading and get stability, they might be a team to watch next season.
Yeah, possibly.
Keep an eye
Yeah,
on.
they've got a decent fan base, haven't they? Probably,
Yeah.
arguably too big a club for League One, but every club's at the position that they're in for a reason.
Well, look at
But-
this: 17th Reading, Wigan 12th. Both had goal point deduction this season, and they've gone
Both
sod
done
your
brilliantly.
point
Yeah.
deduction. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, exactly that. Carlisle could get relegated on Monday if results
We'll
go
get
against
there
them.
first. We'll get there first.
And then Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Port Vale make up the bottom four, but Cheltenham and Port Vale putting up a decent fight, like we say. Port Vale 2 on
You
the
know
bounce.
what Cheltenham miss? Alfie May.
Alfie May.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
They never
Well,
replaced him.
No. Cheltenham have got a couple of games in hand over Burton, so I think Burton are probably the team there which will be sweating at the minute, especially with the wins and draws in Port Vale and Cheltenham's last 5, whereas Burton's form is looking pretty poor. Moving to the top of the table, I'm in agreement with Lee. I think Pompey and Derby are the two, aren't they? There's a 6-point gap now opened up between Derby and Bolton. So regardless of the result on Tuesday.
Don't sleep on Oxford or Stevenage.
No.
Yeah, because
I
they've
mean,
still got a
Stevenage's
chance.
form's dropped off, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think the playoffs are set now, especially with how Lincoln are performing. We will see. But yeah, Burton,
see,
we are
but-
sweating. Lovely. Moving on to the championship. So you guys had a week off.
I was enjoying myself here.
Ian thoroughly enjoyed
And
his
back
week
with a
off.
bang.
Yeah, I think that. Let's go to Preston first, if I can find it there. Ian,
To be
what's
honest,
happening?
I mean, same old, same old. They come, they pick their wages up every week. They underperform. The manager tries to excuse it, and it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. I mean, I was raging yesterday because they're just pinching a living, and I mean the entire playing squad, with the possible exception of Victor Johansson, who won't be there to come August anyway.
Looks like Sheffield
I
United are
would-
going to get him in the summer.
But I would, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not obviously nothing to do with the club, but I would list every player that's under contract, and I mean every player, transfer list them, and every player that are coming to the end of the contract, release them and start again.
The problem
they
is
are just
you don't
desperate.
have the money to do a complete rebuild.
Well, if you're saving on wages from out of contract players, you can pick decent players up for less money because these. Remember, we're at the lower end of the wage scale in the championship, but they're still championship wages. So League One wages are going to be significantly lower. And so, therefore, I think you can pick up League One standard players for a fraction of the price that we are paying. Say, for example, Jordan Hugill, who's I think he's our highest paid player, and he's an absolute. I don't know.
Do
I'm
you
not
trust
swearing.
Tony Stewart to back it though again, or not?
Who knows? Who
Is
knows?
Stewart,
And,
is Stewart time at the club starting to run thin with a lot of Rotherham fans?
It is really. But having said that, as I've said no end of times on Twitter, I can't see an Hollywood A-lister or a Saudi billionaire on the horizon. So who's he going to sell it to?
His
With
son,
him-
probably.
We're comparatively financially stable under Stewart, which is a big thing. We've still got a club to support. I know this season's been horrendous, but we start again in League One. It needs a massive rebuild. It needs playing wise, because the players that are taking the field now just don't care, and the body language says it. As soon as they go a goal down, they collapse like a deck of cards. We've got 4 home games left. we've got Millwall, we've got Plymouth Argyle, we've got Birmingham City, and on the last day we've got Cardiff at home. We'll lose all 4 of those games. I'll virtually guarantee it, starting tomorrow. The fans, it used to be quite angry going there with this run that we're on at the moment. Fans were getting quite angry, but I think it's turned to apathy. They always list the crowd at New York at being 10,500, but I would say about 3,000 season ticket holders aren't even bothering to turn up now.
Sounds very similar to Donny last season and season before.
I'll still go because I've paid my money and I'm as tight as a bear's arse, but I'll still go. But
it's away from missus as well for a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not entertainment. It's not entertainment. It's torture. It's absolute torture.
Yeah.
It was very interesting that your manager spoke about introduction, how your training facilities ain't up to standard and stuff like that. And it's like, I keep hearing this more and more about clubs and their training stuff. And I think it's going to get to a point where training things have to be improved more than what's on the pitch to a point.
I think it's been an afterthought for too many chairmen over the years.
Yeah.
It's been an afterthought.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but I'm not blaming the training facilities. I'm blaming the attitude and the demeanour of the playing staff, especially. I mean, our recruitment team thought we needed championship experience, so we brought a whole load of 35 pluses in to give the team more experience. Yeah. They've been on the treatment table 3/4 of the season, and when they have played, they've played like they didn't care. So, in my view, the mercenaries looking for one final payday, get rid of them. Get rid of the lot of them.
Hopefully, though, Ian, the fan base at Rotherham are patient. I think.
Well,
look at the Donny fan base this season. We've been on a poor run at the start of the season, but we backed Grant McCann and we trusted in what I think. I don't know if we're holding on to what he delivered when he first was at Donny, but we know what a Grant McCann team is, and we weren't seeing that at the start of the season. Whereas now it's starting to click. So I think we're getting rewarded for that patience and backing.
Grant McCann's quite weird.
Hopefully
Grant McCann's quite weird. He's the one manager that can go back to clubs and still have the same impact. It's very rare that you can go back.
Yeah, I did it Posh, didn't he? He had a positive impact on Posh,
Yeah. But I just think patience is needed sometimes, isn't it?
I think season ticket sales will be well down on this season.
Yeah.
Because I think we got 7,000 season ticket holders at the start of the season. I can't see them being more than about 3,000.
Are you still wanting to do what you said on Twitter, like just not go up next season, building League One, and then properly have a go the following?
Absolutely. Because in the 3 previous seasons that we've gone down from the Championship, we've come straight back up. And I think that has been a backward step because we've gone back up with a reasonably good quality League One side. And as a bit like Wednesday, we arrived in the Championship with a League One squad. And that ain't sustainable.
No.
You'll get found out, as both our clubs have this season. Yeah. So I think a couple of seasons in League One, building from a sort of like building from nothing. Let Liam Richardson get his style of play across, what he wants to do. Get players on reasonably rock solid contracts so they can't walk away for nothing, like what happened with Benet, Barlasser, and all those other decent players that just let the contracts run out and then just walked away. We need to be more club orientated in contract talks. In other words, if a player does want to get transferred elsewhere, we get a decent amount of money for him and we have sell-on clauses. That's something we've never done. So we've just been sort of like raped by the bigger clubs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Indeed. I think a lot of clubs at our level get that. I think it's difficult to negotiate them sort of terms with bigger clubs because they've got the weight behind them, haven't they? But
I mean, case in point was Smithy and Icky when they went
Yeah.
to Hillsborough. They let the contracts run out at Rotherham and just walked away, which
Yeah.
they've every right to do. But if we put clauses in their contracts to say, right, Wednesday, if you want these two players, you've got to pay so much. But
We got
they just
18 players out of contract in the summer, Ian.
Yeah.
And we're the same. We let contracts run down. And ours isn't because people don't come in for them. They come into them, but our owner is very good at moving the goalpost last minute. There'll be a deal agreed. It'll be all set to go. And then right at the final thing, I'll go, oh, can you put an extra 30K on that? Or something of that nature. And the problem is, if you do that, you get the reputation with other clubs going, well, we're not going to deal with you. That's what you're going to do. We've agreed a price. That's the price.
And that's why you have to have these things in place while the players are still under contract.
Exactly.
So so the clubs that are chasing them know what they've got to deal with and know what they've got to pay.
Barnsley and Sheffield United and Hull have been kings at doing that for years.
Yeah.
that's it.
Yes, they have actually. You're right. Yeah.
So tough old waters to navigate, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
On to Wednesday, though. You guys have given yourselves a
How
really
didn't you
good
win
chance
that?
of
How
survival.
didn't you win that?
Well, it's frustrating because we played really well. I thought we played good enough to get a win. I thought the first goal was a bit scrappy, but you take those goals when you're trying to chase it. And this was a team without Barry Bannon in the first half due to injury, and we lost Pervada the last game. It looks like he's on the team bus for the game against Middlesbrough, which will be a big boost. And a Swansea fan said it to me very easily. If you had a clinical striker, you would have blown us away. If you had a clinical striker, this game would have been done and dusted, and we were like, fair play, there's all 3 points. But
I mean, you missed some really good chances. Really good chances.
We had 2 penalties. Stonewall penalties just turned down. Just not, and we've not had a penalty all season. We are the only club out of the 92, I think, not to have a single penalty awarded. Do you know when our last penalty was? Plymouth, the playoff final versus Peterborough at home, Michael Smith.
What the hell?
It'd been nearly a year since we had a penalty. But when those things don't come up for you, you're going to make your own luck. And we had enough chances in that game to do it. And our finishing it's been woeful all season. We've done quite well with a keeper now that's looking after the battering we got at Ipswich. He actually pulled off some cracking saves in that game and kept us in it to a point. Yeah. I'm not too sure about low goal. I can understand why people said handball, but for starters, you have to defend that first header.
Yeah.
If you defend that first header, Lowe doesn't get a chance to score. And this is the thing, that's our 6th goal from a set piece this season. And when you look at our back lineup with the likes of Bambo Diaby, Iorfa, Michael Smith when he gets on the pitch, you should be whipping those balls into the box and going from corners and set piece 24/7. And that's the annoying thing, because we make so many chances and we just don't bury them. I think the break came at a good time for us because we needed to regroup after that absolute battering. But the problem is, I saw this as one of our winnable games because you've got a Swansea who are pretty much mid-table, not much to play for. And now we've now made a big, massive rob for our own back going against a Middlesbrough team who are now fighting for playoffs. And I think it's going to be really difficult to see what happens. I still think we've got some winnable games. And while there's still 1 point in it, I'm very confident we'll stay up because I think there's a lot of clubs in and around us who have got a difficult run in and who could crumble even worse than we did.
Yeah. One caveat for that, though, Jake. Both Millwall, Argyle, and Birmingham have still got to come to our place. So you're going to have to add 3 points on all them.
Good point, but you also look at Blackburn Rovers. Again, Blackburn Rovers, I think they've got Coventry, Leicester, and Leicester just on free fall at the minute for whatever reason. But if they get their backside in gear and start working again, this is the thing. These are the games where you look at what we went on with the 4-game run. The first time since 2017 since we've been on a 4-game run. No club should go that long without a 4-game run. It's just ridiculous. But up until then, you think, oh, we should be out of this by now because a 4-game run like that keeps you out of it. But everybody else started winning.
Yeah.
The 2 games that we had before the thing, no one thought we'd pick any points up. We thought we'll see. What did us was we're only in the bottom now because of goal difference. And the game we will look at are games such as Millwall at home, Huddersfield away, and Ipswich away, which will be the one where we go, we leaked so many goals. And that could be the thing that kills us. But while it's a point and while we're fighting, I say we just keep going and just see what happens.
Oh yeah,
I think that's it, isn't it, Lee? You've got to take the position that you're in one game at a time and just try and pick up as many points as you can and hope that the teams are in and around you slip up. Like Jake said, you went on a bit of a run, but every team around you went on a similar run. So look at it one or two ways. It's good that you went on that run and stayed in touching distance, but it's frustrating that no teams in and around you slipped up so that you could be out of it a bit.
Yeah, it is frustrating. We've said before, Jake, haven't we? Months ago, we wouldn't have been in this position to even stand a chance, even think about staying up, because we looked like we were dead and buried. Obviously, that start of the season crippled us. Credit to Danny, he's turned the ship, but yeah, it's a frustrating one drawing against Swansea because it's one of them where not a bank, but you really should, if you aspirations to stay up, it's one that you really should be winning because you're just going to make it hard. Like now, in theory, we've got to go and beat Middlesbrough, where over this weekend I'd have sort of settled for 4 points. I don't know about you, Jay, but obviously I'm going to wait. You've now got to go to the Riverside to beat Middlesbrough because obviously teams are going to pick up points in and around us, and that gap could start opening up again, and that's what we've got to avoid. Whereas if we'd have won this against Swansea, we'd have took that little bit of pressure off, and the lads had obviously, after that mauling at Ipswich,
I do feel like we play better with the pressure on us though, which is weird.
Yeah, you just
I don't like it.
You just could sort of see it's already shaping as that last day of the season at some point, can't you?
I think the thing is, you look at it, Danny came in with 13 points behind. He got it to 3. He's now got it to 1. And he just gives you a bit of faith. And the thing is, I've seen so many people talk about him going in the summer and stuff like this. You don't set up with your head of recruitment to lift for the Championship or League One players next season if you go in.
Yeah.
You just don't, do you? If you know you're going, you go, well, I'll see what happens and we'll discuss it in the summer.
Yeah, and I think where the rumours have come because eventually he's going to go. He's going to be a top. He's proven that he's going to be a top manager. So one day he will go. I just think he's young. He's still going to be learning the job. Obviously, it's his first managerial position. I just can't see him leaving it, even if we go down. I can't.
He's building something. Building something, and the thing is,
for me, Jack, I think he's gonna. If we go down, I think he's gonna want to bring us back up, and then assess, see where he's at. I don't think he's gonna want to have a relegation on his CV and then just walk away type thing. Because I just don't think.
And remember, he's not a chance to set a team up how he wants it.
Yeah.
Like, even if we stay up, we are a little bit like you, Ian, where it's a rebuild. Yeah. It's a big rebuild. 18 players out of contract. The first 2 on the names of the players if you stay up this season. Even if you go down and you take a punt and try to do it, you go, I want Paveda and I want Ugbo. They're your first 2 names. And possibly see if you get Beadle as another loan for the season. Because I think Beadle could be a decent keeper for another season. But the thing is, we have just got to, we can't rely on other people. Like our next games are Middlesbrough, QPR, which you are now starting to look like they're out of it now. Norwich away. Is that away or is it at home? I think it's at home, actually, on Tuesday. Then I think it's Blackburn Rovers who are
That's
nowhere.
Sunday.
Yeah, the thing is, Blackburn Rovers, their form's plummeted.
Yeah.
You look at that table right now. There's so many teams who are nowhere near safe.
I think the two to really, well, no, I said two to really.
It's free.
Yeah, I mean,
3 or 4.
Huddersfield, they've sort of hit a wall, haven't they? Now, where the new manager come in, they sort of pick things up, but they've just they've hit a wall. I think Birmingham will be all right. I think Rowett's.
I don't know. It depends if Rowett can get on playing the way he wants, and so far it doesn't look like you can't do that in 2 weeks.
No,
I think they were lucky yesterday to lose late on Birmingham.
You now say from 19th down are the ones who could now get caught, but it all depends. If QPR and Stoke have a mare again, they're back in it.
Yeah.
You're going to have the annoying thing that Guy Fawkes is going to have an absolute field day in the Championship of going, there's a goal here, there's a goal there, there's a goal there, there's a goal there. And you're going to get to the final whistle and find someone who's got 98 minutes where they think they're safe and they're done. And then so you're going to get something right at the death and you're going to be like, well, that screwed it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's shaping up for a decent final day, isn't it?
I want it that come Sunderland, last game of the season, we pretty much know we're safe.
Yeah.
But I don't see it yet because I think we need 4 wins, ideally, to get out of this.
Yeah, 7 games to go.
Who's the fixtures then? So let's go through them again then, Jay. We've got
what hours?
Yeah, let's see.
We've got Middlesbrough, QPR, Norwich, Stoke, Blackburn, West Brom,
Ooh.
Sunderland.
So
you've got three games that you want to look at there that are winnable: QPR, Stoke, Blackburn.
Yeah,
possibly Finchit versus Middle because they're not that great at home.
Yeah, and they've got a bit of an injury crisis. I've just read before coming on there.
And you've got the thing that Pervader was on the team bus going to Middlesbrough today.
Yeah.
You know when we say we love football, and we do, and we want the drama and stuff. And when they find no drama, we've done it once all season. I want one season where it's mid-table, and I'm like, oh, we're mid-table, sorted. And also, DC to put your bloody phone away and stop doing statements. The big result there with QPR.
Yeah.
QPR.
What a winning goal that was. No, back, fullback.
Really good goal.
There you go. It shows it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really good goal. They just turned it around. They hit something. But again, QPR were weird because they were in really good form going into January, and then they lost it all in January.
Yeah.
Like, no, you actually look at the form guys with the reds and greens. Nobody's in form. You actually go down that table. Nobody is in form at all.
No, I mean, Leicester, who were running away with it, beat 1-0 at Bristol City.
What has happened to them? Did you see? Yeah. Did you see the 2 sitters that Vardy missed?
Yeah. I think the whole situation with them being told they're going to get a point deduction when they go up as him.
Yeah, it's massively. Yeah. It's got to be. You don't just.
It's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing I can think of, and the only thing where I can think the manager's gone, why the hell am I meant to stay up next season then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I've got a point deduction.
Yeah. I mean, one win in the last 5. It's not good, is it?
Go up top, McKenna wants manager of the season.
He wants a knighthood.
Even if
they play some fantastic football, Ipswich. They're really good to watch.
Can you imagine if Leicester in the playoffs after all that and then they lose the playoffs?
They were like 9 points ahead at one point, weren't they?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. So there we go.
But look, you go to about 7th in that table. The form's pretty much bang on. Look down. Nobody consistent.
No.
Well, it's all like Rotherham are very consistent.
We're very consistent.
But look at Plymouth. Look at Birmingham.
Yeah, it's not great reading, is it?
Yeah.
The
For
fact that
either.
we got 2 wins out of like what from QPR down is good.
Yeah. I mean, Maple Leafs just come in, just catching up. Middlesbrough 9 points off the playoffs. Wouldn't call that fighting for playoffs. Having a look, they are away
I
from it,
would.
aren't they?
I would, because it only takes a couple of teams at the top to just suddenly drop. They could get into that situation.
Yeah, there's an outside chance, isn't there?
Yeah,
Which-
it's similar to you and Donny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Middlesbrough have got a better chance of getting into the playoffs than Donny, just because there's less traffic between them. Whereas we've got we need everybody to slip up for us to stand a chance of getting in there. But yeah, it's starting to settle down the league table a little bit more, I think, compared to what it has been in previous weeks. It's just this picture down at the bottom. It's any 2 of 5 or 6 teams, isn't it?
Picture at the bottom, but also top could go down to the wire as well.
Yeah.
Are you still set on your teams that you predicted to go down? I can't remember what we always said.
I think I have mine just to survive. Mine with Watford's on well off.
Yeah.
I went Rotherham, Huddersfield, Birmingham. I can't remember. I'd have to have a look.
I went Rotherham, Huddersfield, and Plymouth.
You still could get it. You
Yeah.
could still get it.
Maple Leafs and Blackburn are in trouble because their schedule is brutal.
Right.
which
And if
it
you
is.
look from Sunderland down, barring... No, I tell a lie. Sunderland down, everyone's either had 1 manager or 2 managers this season.
Yeah.
Or
Makes a
like in
difference.
Birmingham, they'd had 6.
Yeah. Not good. Not good at all. We've ticked over the hour mark. We're 1 hour and 6. So let's round.
Do you remember when
this-
people used to say football and stability go hand in hand?
No, it doesn't. Not at all. So yeah, we'll start rounding this video off. We will go for the predictions. Let's get that on the screen. So only 2 games were predicted from the last video.
Say,
little
Dan,
bit.
say, Dan, I do want Donny to win.
You've done all right there. 3 points. It's
Yay!
it's
I
caught you
just
up a
say
little
mine
bit.
and all.
Go on, Jakey,
Bailey.
lad. High five.
Yeah. Big talking point is Bailey overtaking Neil at the top
Yeah.
of the table. Neil's been there
where
is
so
Neil?
long.
Where's he
Where's
come from
Neil?
all of a sudden?
Neil, it's like Neil knows what's happened, and he's not cut his first ever live he's missed just because
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
top.
Bloody
Neil.
hell, Worko got points. What's going on?
Must be. It must be the reason that Neil's not in the chat. He knew that he
We
was
need to get
dropping.
into him. We need to get
Yeah.
into him.
We do indeed. But for this week, we are missing tomorrow's fixtures and Tuesday's fixtures to give people the opportunity to get in before next weekend. So we're going QPR Chef Wednesday. We'll start with Ian. I've gone 1-0 Chef Wednesday.
QPR really on form. Wednesday, decent form themselves, but I don't know. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to go for a home win here. 2-1 to QPR.
2-1 QPR. Lovely. Rotherham Plymouth, I've gone 2-0 to Plymouth.
I'm going 1-0 to Plymouth. We won't score. Argyle firing blanks at the moment, but I think they'll get one. So 1-0 Plymouth.
Lovely. Reading against Lincoln. I've gone with a 1-1 draw for this one.
This is very hard to predict this because Reading are on fire at the moment, and so are Lincoln.
Yep.
I'm going Desmond's here, 2-2.
Good old 2-2.
Edmund, cheeky Desi.
Forest Green, MK Dons. From what I saw last weekend, can't see Forest Green winning this one. I've gone 3-0 MK.
I think this is quite easy to predict, really. Forest Green 0, Wimbledon. Wimbledon. MK Dons.
Down in.
Oh!
Forest Green 0, MK Dons 2.
What are you trying to cause a riot for?
And finally, Morecambe against Donny. I have gone with a 2-1 away win for the Mighty Rovers.
I think it'll be tougher than you think at Morecambe because Morecambe do play some good football in patches. I'm going for another draw. Yeah, I'm going for a 1-1.
Lovely stuff. Jake, same fixtures to you, mate.
I'm going to go draw Wednesday. Just a point better than losing at this moment.
1-1, 2-2. 1-1.
1-1. Plymouth 3, Rotherham 0.
Yep.
I'm going to go 1-0
Lincoln.
Lincoln. But it's going to be tight.
Forest Green, MK Dons.
3-0 MK Dons.
And Morecambe Donny, mate.
1-0 Donny.
Oh, we'll take it. Lee, what about you, pal?
I'm going for QPR to beat us 2-1. I think the form that QPR's in, decent at home. Plymouth to win 2-0.
Also, we've got the Jailbird still playing for them.
Jailbird.
Don't get me started on the live chat thing.
Reading Lincoln, pal.
Reading Lincoln 1-1. 2-0 to MK Dons and the Super Donny Rovers 2-1 to Donny.
Lovely. His run will have ended by then, though, because you're there tomorrow. On Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll go tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow if you want.
In fact, yeah, go tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it was on Tuesday. But no, this brings us to the end of episode 67. It's been a decent catch-up after missing a weekend last weekend. Luckily, it coincided with the international break, so didn't miss too much. But we will be back next week. Let's go around the screen for any final words. We'll start with Ian.
Therapy session completed again. It's nice to do it in daylight as well, isn't it? Really, it's just
it's all just getting dark now, isn't it?
I just started.
Yeah.
Although you need a light on there, Ian, it looks a bit dark in there.
Well, it's my face, you see.
It's all right. If you get some polish, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I enjoyed it again. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Jake, any final words, pal?
Donate to U2 for the truck game. Get donating to them. It's gonna be a good thing. I'm hoping to go to the game as well, so I'm trying to clear it with things and stuff. But I'll see what happens. Just enjoy what's going on. Football. We are very tribal about our clubs, and people have arguments on Twitter and whatnot. It's like, remember a couple of seasons ago, we couldn't talk about it. We had to do it all from virtual things. You now can go see mates, have a pint, hug a mate, make sure they're okay. Football is therapy for people who sometimes can't afford actual therapy. So look after your mates.
True.
Lee, any final words, pal?
No, another great show. Ian's put his light on, so I'm happy with that. Top show.
How's that? It's not Halloween yet.
Like Ian's ghost guns. No, top show, gents, and Danny smashing it again. Always a pleasure to be part of on this Sunday evening. I'm going to go and eat my body weight in Easter eggs because there's 2 waiting for me. So have a great Easter, everyone. What's left of it?
Lovely stuff. And all that's left for me to say is I'm absolutely exhausted.
That's
the last one. We will see you next week. Subscribe to all these guys. Subscribe to me. Stick a big thumbs up on it if you're watching it through the week. Comments, get them in. Get your predictions in. And yeah, thank you for watching. We will see you next Sunday for episode 68.